My wife wanted $5,000 a month in alimony until I showed proof she was spending $3,000 on her boyfriend. Her lawyer objected. The judge said, "Overruled. Hello, Reddit I+ here. I just walked out of the courthouse an hour ago, and my hands are still shaking. Not from nerves, but from the sheer insanity of what just happened. My name is Nathan Cross. I'm 41, and up until last year, I thought I was married to a woman who loved me. Her name is Vanessa, and we'd been together for 12 years. No kids. Thank God. 8 months ago, everything came crashing down. I'd just gotten back from a business trip in Chicago and noticed charges on our joint credit card. 2 nights at a boutique hotel in the city. Strange, considering Vanessa had told me she was visiting her cousin in the suburbs that same weekend. Let's just say I did some digging, and what I found changed everything. Texts, photos, receipts. She had been cheating. Not a one-time mistake either. This was a full-blown affair with a man named Marcus. He was unemployed, lived in a cramped studio apartment, but he gave her attention apparently, and that was enough. I filed for divorce the next morning. Vanessa moved out and immediately got herself a lawyer, a ruthless one. She started demanding spousal support almost instantly. She claimed she'd sacrificed her earning potential to support me and our marriage and now needed $5,000 a month for the next 5 years to maintain the lifestyle she was accustomed to. That's $300,000 for the privilege of being betrayed. Her argument? That I'd created a life of comfort for her, and now I needed to finance her transition. She worked part-time as a freelance designer, made maybe $22,000 a year, but she told the court she couldn't expand her business because she'd spent her energy nurturing our relationship. Here's the truth. Vanessa never nurtured anything but her nails and her wardrobe. She slept in, spent most days brunching with her friends or going to yoga, and conveniently forgot every anniversary we ever had. I didn't complain. I made good money, mid-6 figures, and I thought she just needed time to find herself. Turns out she found Marcus instead. My lawyer, Clara Benton, warned me that judges often side with the spouse seeking support, especially when there's a huge income gap. She told me to stay calm, stick to the facts, and most importantly, keep my receipts. Oh, and I had receipts. Vanessa's biggest mistake? She always insisted on using our joint bank account for convenience. She said it made budgeting easier. I agreed, stupidly, because I believed in trust and transparency. Clara and I spent 3 grueling weeks analyzing 5 years of statements, and what we found was gold. Vanessa wasn't just living off my income, she was financing another man's lifestyle. Every month, like clockwork, she withdrew exactly $3,000 in cash, always from an ATM near Marcus's apartment downtown, the same day, each month. We cross-checked those withdrawals with her location data from credit card transactions, restaurants for 2, men's clothing stores, even payments to a car rental service Marcus used. We created a timeline, spending habits, purchases, withdrawals, and compiled it all in a thick binder Clara nicknamed the Vanessa Files. Fast forward to the hearing yesterday. Vanessa's lawyer went first. Same speech. My ex was a victim. She'd lost career opportunities for the sake of our marriage. She'd grown used to a certain quality of life she couldn't possibly afford to keep up without financial support. Vanessa even brought in spa receipts and photos of the designer bags I'd bought her as proof of the lifestyle I was responsible for maintaining. Then the judge, Honorable Diane Mercer, who so far had kept a neutral face, turned to me and asked if I had a response. Clara stood up and said, "Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to submit evidence to demonstrate that the petitioner is already maintaining a lifestyle, just not on her own." And then she walked the judge through it. Every hotel receipt Vanessa used when I was away, every ATM withdrawal, every boutique men's clothing purchase, all of it. Clara even brought in screenshots of Vanessa's Instagram stories, now deleted, where she'd posted herself drinking champagne in Marcus's apartment while I was at a company retreat. Vanessa's face went pale. Her lawyer objected, stammering something about privacy violations. But Judge Mercer wasn't having it. The courtroom fell silent as the judge looked down at the papers, adjusted her glasses, and calmly said, "Objection overruled. Continue." I didn't look at Vanessa, but I could feel her glaring at me, like I was the traitor, like exposing the truth was worse than cheating on your husband and demanding he fund your affair. When Clara finished, the judge simply leaned back and said, "I've seen enough." She denied the alimony request outright. Vanessa was awarded nothing, not a cent. The judge added a final note to her ruling, something I'll never forget. It appears the petitioner is not struggling to maintain her lifestyle. She is simply seeking to shift the financial burden of her choices onto the respondent. That's not what this court is for. Vanessa stormed out of the courtroom, didn't say a word. Her lawyer followed close behind, whispering furiously. And me? I stood there in disbelief. Years of gaslighting, betrayal, and financial manipulation, all laid bare in 30 minutes. I walked out into the sun, took a deep breath, and smiled for the first time in months. Not because I won, but because the truth finally did. You'd think that after losing her alimony case so spectacularly, Vanessa would cut her losses and disappear. But no, that woman wasn't done, not by a long shot. 2 days after the court ruling, I started getting calls from clients. At first, it was 1 or 2, then a dozen, people asking if I was okay, asking if the rumors were true. Rumors? That's when I saw it. Vanessa had gone on a full-scale smear campaign, blasting me on social media, painting herself as the wounded, discarded wife. She posted long, teary-eyed videos talking about how I emotionally abused her, abandoned her after she sacrificed everything for our marriage, and how I weaponized the court system to punish her for falling in love. Love isn't a crime, she said into the camera, her voice trembling, fake tears running down her cheeks. I didn't cheat. I evolved, and he couldn't handle it. My inbox exploded with hate messages. Strangers were calling me a narcissist, a controlling monster. Marcus, the jobless boyfriend, even posted a shirtless photo with the caption, "Real men don't have to buy loyalty. They earn it." Disgusting. And the worst part? Vanessa tagged my company in every post. She wanted to destroy me professionally since she couldn't get my money through the courts. Clara, my lawyer, advised me not to respond publicly. But I couldn't just sit there and let this woman burn my reputation to the ground. So we filed a defamation lawsuit and subpoenaed more evidence. Screenshots, texts, and most damning of all, voice messages from Vanessa herself, bragging to a friend about how she was gonna make Nathan look like the devil so I can get sympathy and maybe sponsorship deals. That was her plan. She was angling to become some kind of influencer, feeding off public pity, hoping her betrayal would be rebranded as a brave, feminine awakening. Sickening. A few weeks later, something even wilder happened. I got a call from Vanessa's mother. Now, I hadn't spoken to Diane in years, but she wanted to meet, said it was urgent. I hesitated, but agreed. We met at a coffee shop, and the moment she sat down, she looked me dead in the eyes and said, "I'm so sorry for what my daughter did to you." I didn't expect that. She went on to tell me that Vanessa had done this before, to her ex-fiancé back in college, used him for his apartment, drained his savings, then ghosted him when he caught her cheating. Diane warned me that Vanessa always had a cycle: find someone stable, use them for status and support, cheat, then play victim when the lies unraveled. But here's the kicker. Diane told me that Vanessa had recently forged her signature on a personal loan application, $40,000 from a family credit union account. She found out only after collectors started calling. "She's spiraling, Nathan," Diane said. "And now she's trying to take everyone down with her." Vanessa wasn't just manipulative. She was dangerous. That same night, Clara got an email from an anonymous account with audio recordings. Vanessa yelling at Marcus, calling him a loser and a mistake, saying she only dated him to get back at me, that he was supposed to be a short-term rebound but had gotten too clingy. Nathan was never supposed to find out. I just wanted to feel wanted again. The recordings proved everything. Her lies, her manipulation, her lack of remorse. Clara added the audio to the defamation case file. 2 months later, we were back in court. Vanessa sat there with her new lawyer. Her old one had dropped her. She looked worn down. The sparkle was gone. The judge listened to our evidence, watched her videos, read her texts, and heard the recordings. His ruling? She owed me $75,000 in damages, plus a court order to publicly retract her false statements or face contempt. Vanessa didn't even flinch. She didn't apologize, didn't cry. She just stood up, muttered something about being misunderstood, and walked out, alone. As she disappeared through those courtroom doors for the last time, I felt it. Closure. Not just from the marriage, but from all the years I'd wasted loving someone who never really loved me back. Today, I'm rebuilding. My company recovered. The smear campaign backfired. Clients who knew the truth rallied behind me. I've even started dating again, but with caution, and this time, with boundaries. Vanessa, last I heard, Marcus left her, and she's living in a studio apartment she can barely afford. Her influencer dreams fizzled. Her social media accounts are gone, and she's working part-time at a boutique to pay off her legal fees. Justice wasn't just served, it was served cold.